Meantime, a handful of state lawmakers are now considering a run for Congress after two big retirement announcements this past week. Congressman Greg Pence, Mike Pence's brother, announced that he won't run for re-election. That announcement coming the day after Congressman Larry Bucshon announced his retirement from Congress, meaning nearly half of Indiana's delegation could be stepping away from the House, all in the same year. Today, Russ McQuaid looks at the impact here in Indiana.
Congresswoman Victoria Spartz of Hamilton County hasn't been shy about her disgust with Congress during the 2 terms she's served and has talked about getting out. Dr. Larry Bucshon of the 8th Congressional District, which runs from north of Terre Haute down the western side of Indiana to Evansville, was first elected in 2010. He has focused on health care legislation, but now at 61, Bucshon says he's had enough and wants out in time to go do something else with his life.
I think, you kind of get a feel for it's time to move on. I want to do other things in my life before I end up retiring finally. And so this was a good time. It has nothing to do with what's happening in Congress. It's just a personal decision.
Congressman Jim Banks from the northeast corner of the state is running for the U.S. Senate. And Greg Pence announced today he's done too, frustrated by GOP infighting that has bogged down Congress.
The contention in our party is definitely a contributing factor. I think that the place I think we look forward to is what we can get done in the state, how I can help out when I do leave the office here in Washington, D.C.
With at least 3 Hoosier members of Congress stepping aside and a 4th sending mixed messages about staying on, Indiana's legislative influence in Washington would be watered down.
It is a big chunk. You may have 1 or 2 congressional seats open at most. When you're talking about 9 congressional seats, to see almost half of those now turn to open seats is incredibly unusual for our state.
Now, in a statement, the Democratic Party chair said, quote, "The wave of Republican retirements in the House has hit Indiana. Hoosiers and Americans have looked on over the past year and seen the immense chaos in Congress." He said today marks the end of the Pence era in Indiana politics and said Hoosiers deserve leadership that focuses on supporting working families rather than issues that seek to divide. Now, this will mark the first time this century that there hasn't been a Pence in office or on the ballot here in Indiana. Of course, Mike Pence no longer in the race for president as the Republican field continues to get smaller ahead of Monday's Iowa caucus. Here's Washington correspondent Trevor Shirley with the latest.
On a university stage in frigid Iowa Wednesday night, there was no warmth between Governor Ron DeSantis and Ambassador Nikki Haley.
We don't need another mealy-mouthed politician who just tells you what she thinks you want to hear just to try to get your vote.
He has switched his policies multiple times, and we'll call that out tonight. But every time he lies, Drake University, don't turn this into a drinking game because you will be overserved by the end of the night.
Both are roughly tied for second place heading into next week's Iowa caucuses. Former President Donald Trump still holds a strong double-digit lead according to recent polls, making the path ahead for DeSantis and Haley a challenge.
We don't need this chaos anymore. We need someone who's going to be a new generational leader that brings sanity back to America.
So what are we going to do as Republicans in terms of who we nominate for president?
As usual, Trump skipped the debate, instead holding a town hall with Fox News in Des Moines.
I'm not going to have time for retribution. We're going to make this country so successful again. I'm not going to have time for retribution. And remember this. Our ultimate retribution is success.
Earlier in the evening, Governor Chris Christie suspended his long-shot bid for the White House, telling supporters while he's out of the campaign, he's not off the trail.
Because I want to promise you this. I am going to make sure that in no way do I enable Donald Trump ever be president of the United States again.
Trevor, thanks. This week, the Biden campaign issued a statement saying the president looks forward to spending the next 10 months reminding the American people how dangerous Donald Trump and his MAGA agenda are for Americans' pocketbooks, their freedoms, and their democracy. Still, Trump appears to be the heavy favorite in Monday night's caucus. This week, I spoke with Politico's Adam Wren, who's on the ground in Iowa.
There is a sense here on the ground that Nikki Haley is focusing on suburban towns, kind of the big population centers, and trying to recreate the Marco Rubio coalition that got him a decent placing in the 2016 caucuses.
Adam, you also have some reporting this week about Mike Pence, of course, who was not all that long ago in this race himself there in Iowa, now out of the race, and whether or not he's likely to endorse anyone. What are you hearing?
Yeah, so, Mike Pence is not fully ready to get behind Nikki Haley, according to people close with him. They're far apart on taxes. Both of them were in the Republican Governors Association at the same time when Mike Pence was governor. They have somewhat of a friendship, but he is still not, from a policy perspective, ready to endorse her, which I think is significant because, Pence is going to be a character in the story of this race throughout the year as he testifies to a grand jury, and later this year a full jury on the Trump trials on January 6th.
It certainly seems another story this week could be the weather there in Iowa. It's been pretty bad. What are you hearing in terms of the impact that might actually have on Monday night in terms of turnout and people actually getting out to the caucuses?
Yes. So a number of candidates have been canceling their events and moving them closer to Des Moines, the center of the state. And on Friday, we saw, 10 inches of snowfall. And so it's going to be significant. I talked with Ralph Reed, the president of the Evangelical Coalition, and he essentially said that he thinks that, hardcore voters are going to turn out no matter what, that in Iowa, people are used to the weather, but it's going to be significant. They have revised down the number of Republican voters who they thought would turn out from 180,000 to just 150,000, which is a little bit below what we saw in 2016. And so there is a scenario where a candidate like Trump, who is far ahead in the polls by double digits, could see some of his supporters stay at home. We're going to see the coldest Iowa caucuses since 1972. So it's going to be a significant factor no matter what.
All right, Adam Wren in Iowa. Adam, thanks. Coming up next, the latest on the race for governor as the filing season begins. We'll talk with our panel about how Indiana's next governor may have a different vision for the state. Plus, part of our interview with the new mayor who's breaking barriers in Lawrence when In Focus continues after this.